Hi friends, it's Jean here, and with all the excitement about the December daily release for 2026 coming out, I thought I would do a flip through of my 2025 December daily album. I used this red Fa La La 6x8 album, which I love, it's really pretty, and it has this beautiful green stars inside. And you can see my album is a little bit chunky, but I just flipped through it in preparation for this video, and I have to say I really love how it turned out. I did the 10x8 size for a couple years when it first came out, but I've really found that 6x8 is my sweet spot for December daily. It seems to work really well for me. Somehow the 10x8, maybe I'm not quite as comfortable in that size, and so it seems to take me longer, or I feel like the pages don't all work together as well, and I love how they work in the 6x8, which is interesting because I love my 10x8 story album that I've been keeping the past couple years. But like I said, for December daily, I really love 6x8. So this is my title page here, and on the inside cover, I used the 2025 from the Advent calendar and some gold sparkly stars. I have a lot of gold glitter stars in this album. There were some in the main kit, which I loved, and then I ordered a set of gold glitter stars from Amazon because I was having so much fun using them. So you'll see that they're really a unifying feature in my album. So this transparency was from my stash. I think this one is really old, from one of the first December dailies I've done, and I think I've been doing December dailies since 2015 or 2016. So I used one of the vellum reeves from the main kit, and then one of the red chipboard numbers from the main kit. So most of the items that I used last year were from the 2025 main kit, the 2025 star kit, an advent calendar, and then I got a bunch of the add-ons from last year's collection as well. And one of my favorites was the specialty journal card and transparency set. So you'll see a lot of those cards as well. And then I have quite a large stash of December daily items since I've been doing it for so long. So I, of course, pulled from my stash as well. So on the back of this title transparency, I just added another white vellum wreath with a gold star. And then these are just a couple intro pages and my reason why leading into the start of the season. So I really loved this vellum card that said it's coming on Christmas. They're cutting down trees, they're putting up reindeer and singing songs of joy and peace. And I thought that would be a perfect way to start my album. So I added that in a page protector along with one of the frames from the main kit and this really fun December felt piece from the main kit, and then added a die cut phrase, the most wonderful time of the year. Here's a gold star and a phrase sticker, and then one of the plastic bows. I loved the plastic bows last year, so I did use a lot of those. And I love word phrase stickers, so I have a bunch from my stash, and I also got the word phrase pack from last year, and I also got the tab pack from last year, so you'll find I've used a lot of these tabs with the gold foil on them as well. And then on the back of that, I used the 2025 transparency, another transparency from the specialty kit, and in the window I just added a December die cut from the main kit. And then these little numbers, this was for 25 for 2025, I believe they were from a release from Paper Person Shop, and you'll find I use these little puffy numbers with the gold on them a lot in my album. And for my reason why, I just used a transparency from my stash, or maybe this was last year and I cut it up. And then I loved these scalloped ledger cards, die cuts, and so I used one on the front and the back for my reason why this year. And then I stamped with this cute little stamp, Make Merry. This year I want to find the joy in the small everyday moments and in the festive holiday events. Yes to joy. And then on the back, Peace on Earth. I'm also seeking simple and calm and a feeling of peace. There is a lot of heart in this season, so I'm hoping for calm this year. My mom has Alzheimer's, so that's one of the hard things for me in the holidays, and last year she was really starting to have quite a decline. So as part of this joy, I kind of leaned into, this was from the specialty kit, And then this was one of the plastic snow globes from the, I think that was an add-on. And I stamped on it. The stamping worked pretty well here and here. That was a little border and it got kind of messed up, but you know what? I'm fine with it. I think it looks kind of fun there. And then added one of the tabs on the side. And then a picture of my family. This is my husband, Doug, my daughter, Anna, my daughter, Catherine, and me. This was from our niece's wedding, which was in November. So I thought that was a perfect family photo for this season. And then I added word phrase stickers. And then on the back of that, I loved, Allie did some December pages last year using these 1, 2, 3, 4 gold vellum letterpress cards from the specialty journal card kit. So I replicated what she had done, and I used another one of the, this is a plastic snow globe, and these plastic pieces were in the main kit. So I added one of those to the back. And then this was a 10 by 8 paper, and it was a download, maybe in Product Play. And so I printed it out as a 4 by 6 and then added lots of little fun sequins and stars to the wreath around there. This December daily card was from my stash, and again, it's super old. So I did what Allie did and just added 4 by 4 photos to these cards. And then I used the plastic labels, which were one of the add-ons, and I got a bunch of those and used them in my collection, and added word phrase stickers, and then typed up my journaling and printed it out. And then I added the little plastic stars from the main kit with brads and sequins. So this was getting my December daily box. This was prep day when I helped, when I unboxed and set up all my products. We are able to walk to our tree lot, so I wrote about that on these 3 and 4, and then I put a full page photo of my husband and daughter holding up the tree. And this was like right before the start of the year, right after Thanksgiving, that we did this, when both my daughters were home for Thanksgiving. So I love how this turned out. I think it's really fun. And then I carried over the plastic label here with a word phrase sticker and a glitter star. And then for my first story, it's about advent calendars, which is often my story number 1. And this swan was in the advent calendar from Allie. I love this swan. So I made my own title card here, and I used a little bit of the scalloped washi I have from Doodlebug. You'll find I use a lot of that in here too. And the chipboard 1 from the main kit. And then I wanted to use one of the frames. This frame was from the main kit, and I had this frame in my stash from a past story kit. So I made a little flip up with pictures of both of my girls holding their advent calendars. And then I added the gold glitter letters from the main kit for their initials K and A, and then just added pattern paper. And then these were the cardstock scallop borders, which I also loved from last year's collection, and I put some of them in there. This is mimicking that scallop. And then I had gotten some really fun tab stickers from Paper Person, and this one says lift up, there's more, so I thought that was kind of fun. And then this is just a die cut from the main kit, and I believe this paper might have been from my stash. I'm not totally sure. And then these journaling cards were in the main kit, so I used a lot of those. And I believe these stickers were in the advent calendar with the gold on them. And then here was a picture of me opening my first advent envelope with the swan. So that one is kind of fun. And then story 2 is about my holiday mugs and setting up my coffee station. I love to have seasonal mugs, and it's one of my favorite things. And I take a picture of my mug every morning and put it on my stories, which you might have seen. So these are some of my favorite holiday mugs. This was the new Allie mug from 2025. This card was from the specialty journal card kit. This was a card from my stash. I think my friend Whitney had given this to me. And then I added another mug photo on the back. And then these 4 by 6 cards were also, that say fa la la, were in the main kit. And I used a bunch of these for journaling throughout my album. This coffee sticker was from the advent calendar, and these really festive labels were also in the main kit. So I wrote love setting up my holiday mugs, and then did my journaling here. And then again, one of those cute puffy numbers from Paper Person shop. And then story number 3 was about a fun night we had with our family going to a play. So this is a picture. We went to dinner first of all 4 of us. I added one of the labels. And then we took a picture in the lobby of the building next to where the theater was, in front of a really festive tree. So I love this picture, and I blew it up to full 7 by 8.25. Again, did my journaling on the Fa La La card and added a phrase banner from the main kit. We went to see Some Like It Hot. Oh, it was really fun. It had tap dancing, and it was really festive. So we had a super fun night. My daughter, Catherine, lives in New York City, and she loves Broadway shows. So she had asked that we go to a show together. And then this, I added this little page protector, a 2x2 page protector. This Joy tag was from the main kit, and then this was from the Star mini kit, and then a little banner. And then I just cut out Some Like It Hot from the playbill and put that on the back. There we go. And it kind of, the little tab sticks over the top. So that's really cute. And then story 4 was about, I guess, kind of having a little bit of a bad day. I don't know. It was just not my best day. So I added a picture from the view from my front door in the morning. This, I believe, was from the 2024 Advent calendar. This puffy, and then this was from this year's main kit, a wood star, which was also in my stash, one of those numbers. And then I believe this Too Shall Pass and Loved and Loathed were from the Highs and Lows Storyteller kit, which had come out not too long before December Daily. And I had noticed they had this bright red in them, so I thought they might be good for December Daily. So I wrote about what I was loving that day and loathing, and I had done my YouTube year in review, so I added that to a card here as part of the day. And then me putting up the this advent calendar my mom made for my girls when they were little, and I am often the only one home, so I was putting up the item on the tree. And then story number 5, I made a fun pocket, and this was about decorating my house and also holiday parties. So I used this Happy Christmas paper that was in the main kit, and then this vellum was in my stash that I used to make the pocket. Added the cardstock scallop border. Loving these things was from the main kit. These bows, which are so cute, were from the advent calendar. I'm gonna miss some of the extras in the advent calendar this year. And then this was from the main kit. This December story journaling card was from the 2024 collection. I had a few left over. And this Oh What Fun card was from my stash. And then pictures of my ornaments and decorating my mantle. And then I just used a bunch of tags I had in my stash. This Fa La La was from some cookies a friend made me. And then I put a picture of some of my decorations here. I have a little Santa collection. We also had our first snow that day, and it was the earliest snow since 2018 in Arlington. So I put 2 pictures front back here, and then a picture of my girlfriends and I at our first holiday party. So I just sort of put all these tags in here and added it in the pocket. So that's fun. I do like to do interactive pages in December Daily and then intersperse them with easier ones. And then this is story number 6. And for this, I did a page about what we were all doing to celebrate the holidays that day. This is a little flip up. My daughter, Catherine, had gone to Bethany with her friends, and here they are in front of the Christmas tree. Saturday, I played Mahjong with my friends. That's a new thing we're all doing, so that's a photo from that. And then we had our my husband's holiday party, and my daughter now works at KPMG too, so these are pictures of her. So I used this gold paper from the main kit that had the tag shapes on it, or the label shapes, I guess I should call it, and then used a bunch of the plastic labels, and then I cut my photos into the same shape. I used my circle punch to punch the sides out, and it worked really well. I think in product play, Kendra had done something like this, and I sort of used that as inspiration. Then I added some ribbon on some of the tabs, and then I don't know if you can see this flip out. I added a photo from my advent calendar in the back here, and then did my journaling on that. So that's a fun one as well. Let me just stick that back in there. And I like how this kind of tucks under there. And then on the back, this story 7 was a photo about my holiday brunch and gifts with my college girlfriends. So again, I added photos on the back of Kathy's table, some gifts, an ornament my friend Mary Jo made for us. This Peace and Joy was from my stash, but the vellum behind it was from the specialty kit. And then I believe this frame was from a past kit as well. I added a photo of all of us at the table, did my journaling. And then this gold vellum card was also from the specialty kit. And I added some of this fun gold dot ribbon to that, along with some of the glitter stars. So that turned out pretty. And then for story 8, this was kind of just a more simple story. This card was from my stash, and I thought it matched well with this little vignette of an advent calendar and my Christmas card holder and my candle. My daughter Catherine lives in New York, but she was about to go on a 4-month leave of absence and travel in Southeast Asia. So she was home with us the month of December this year, from Thanksgiving on, working virtually. So it was fun to have her home for the holidays. So this was us eating dinner. These are some fun little letter stickers from LA Florals Plans. One of the cute labels from the main kit. And then I just did a 3x8 page here with this transparency from my stash and these 3x8 cards from a past 3x8 kit. And then I used, were from the advent calendar, and I just stamped in different colors: candles, coffee, advent calendar, crafting, packages, cooking, movies, twinkle, and added one of the bow stickers. And then in this season, it was little currently. And these fun little circle tabs, which I used in all of these, were from the advent calendar. Oh my God, those are one of my favorite products. I love how those look. And then again, I used one of these cute puffy circle numbers. And then story 9 was about finally getting our tree decorated. So I used another of the 3x8 cards from my stash and a die cut from the main kit and a cardstock border, and did my journaling here, added the number in gold puffy numbers. And then I used these fun 4x4 cards from the main kit and added photos of each of us. We always take pictures of ourselves hanging up ornaments. This is something we do every year. So I added the photo, word phrase stickers, and then some of this scalloped washi tape, and then these cute circle stickers on the side. So I really love how that turned out. And I used the, whatever these are, to hold them in there, the page attachers. And then, of course, paired that with a full page photo of our tree decorated. It was really a beautiful tree this year. And then made this little cute collection with, this is from the star kit and the star kit. And then this Noel plastic piece was from my stash, and a little bit of twine. Then for story 10, I had seen Allie do this really fun pocket. I don't remember if it was in Product Play or just on the blog. So I wanted to replicate that. So I used one of the library cards with the memo and cut out the Santa transparency and put it right on top of there with the Holly Jolly from the main kit under. And again, one of those really cute bows from the advent calendar. And then I journaled about a day. My sister took me to get a massage and we had lunch, which was a really lovely break from the holidays. This was the gift card she gave me and my journaling. So I just can tuck that in here, which is super cute. And then 2 pictures of us. These glitter white letters were from my stash. This was a card from the place we went for massages. And then I used the same paper here to make a 3x4 title card to pull them together. And then I used this transparency from the specialty kit just as a little fun insert. This, I believe, again, was from the 2024 advent calendar. I didn't open it till the end, so I had a lot left over. And then this was from the main kit. And again, I used this paper to back it. So I really like how that turned out. And then day 11, this was again something that Allie did about her mom, because her mom had recently been diagnosed with dementia. And I really wanted to do the same thing. My mom has Alzheimer's. This photo was from several years ago. Oh, look at that. What's that on there? I got to get that off. I'll do that later. I love this photo of her and I together. I'm not saying that grammatically correct. So I wanted to do the same little flip up that Allie did. So I paired it with these die cuts were from the December Stories by the Month kit. Here's some of the swan paper and the swan paper because Allie had looked up the significance of swans. And then these pictures were from, my dad got his Christmas tree in October, or he wanted it up in October. So we actually decorated in October. So those are older photos, but I put those in here and then made this flip up with the photo on the outside. And this is a family photo of my family, I think from Thanksgiving. So that, yes, because my brother was home for Thanksgiving. And then I used more of these library pockets to create these little flips. Here's a picture of my mom and my daughter, and my mom is holding her little animal, which is so cute. And then I used this vellum card, Finding Peace, put that on the back. This was what Allie had on her blog, where the lips are silent, the heart has 1,000 tongues, and then the significance of the swans. And it's also about the Holy Spirit and sacraments. And my mom is Catholic, so that seemed really relevant. And this chipboard was from the December Stories by the Month kit. Really missing you during this season. I'm so thankful for all the time we did have. Even though my mom's still here, she's not the same. So I do really miss her. I added another scallop border here. And then one more level was I added this grateful card, did my journaling, adhered it all with washi, added more of the scallop and scallop washi tape, because of course when I put it on the page I tilted it slightly askew. Oh my gosh, I was so frustrated because it literally took me forever to put this together. Allie is clearly better at this construction than me, but I put this here and I thought it sort of tricked the eye into thinking it's straight, and then I added a tab here. So I absolutely love this page, and it means a lot to me. Day 12 was a lot more fun of a story about celebrating my husband's birthday. It was a Friday night, so we went out with a bunch of our friends to happy hour and dinner. So I used this paper from the main kit, printed a photo collage. The Celebrate was from the December Stories by the Month kit. This card was in my stash, and this was from the December Stories by the Month kit, and then added some stars and a glitter D for my husband named Doug. And then the 13th is his birthday, so we always have a birthday layout in December Daily. And these cards were from my stash. This was from the December Stories by the Month kit, 13, the chipboard number. Cheers was from the December Stories by the Month kit. And then I put a full page photo of my husband with his cake, added one of the scallop die cuts, and some numbers from my stash for his age. And then this pocket was from the 2024 collection, and I had one left. So I added my journaling and a photo of him with a gift. And then my husband and my daughter, we went out to dinner, and there were some fun trees around this me and my husband. So I added those and then just slipped those in the pocket. I love having all these pockets in December Daily. And the Santa was from the main kit along with this banner, and then a vellum lit wreath and more of this also from the main kit. He's a cutie. So story 14, I added in our Christmas card, and it was a Sunday, and my daughter was watching football with us, and we were all working on addressing and stamping the cards. So I added my card into the album, front back, and added just a few little embellishments. We got a little dusting of snow, so I added a full page photo of my banister with the ribbon, a vellum wreath, a die cut, some bow stickers, and then some puffy numbers here. And then I made this filler card using a transparency from my stash, and then poinsettia was from the December Stories by the Month kit, the bow sticker, and this die cut from the main kit. And this journaling card was from my stash as well. I think this was an old Feed Your Craft journaling card. Story 15 was about mailing my happy mail. One thing I do every December is mail a bunch of packages to all my crafty friends, many of whom I met at Story Camp or through December Daily or listing on Instagram. So we all exchanged little happy mail. So that's really fun. So I have pictures with my packages, and as I was putting everything together, my journaling here. This card was from the main kit, and I made a fun title card with a plastic label and the number 15. And then I used one of the plastic frames and adhered it to a 3x8 transparency. I don't have a sewing machine, so I actually stapled, excuse me, but it worked out pretty well. Added a few more little photos. I have a new friend, Angela from Australia, who sent me a card. So she had sent me a photo of her putting it in her post box, which I thought was really fun. And then I believe this was from the Star Mini Kit. Then I added gold washi tape around it to mimic the frame, and then a chipboard from my stash. And then these plastic stars were from the main kit. So then on the back of that, for story 16, it was just about taking a moment to pause in the midst of the busy. So I added another plastic frame on the back and just a few little photos from the day. I believe the one little word collection came out that day, and we had a little bit of snow again. And then I added a 3x8 card from my stash along with the die cut from the main kit. And then I made a really fun embellishment trail on the photo of me with my coffee and the tree, using things from this year and also from past years, and this fun label where I wrote my little journaling for the day. Story 17 was about my dad taking my two daughters to one of his favorite restaurants, which is called Chez Francois. I stamped on this label using the new Tiny Alpha stamp that had come out in December or January. And then I added a brad with one of these plastic circles from the main kit and a cute picture of my dad in his Christmas sweater. I loved this picture. He is such a cutie. And then this little tab is from the star kit, and I added little stars on the wreath. This wreath paper was from the main kit, and then this wreath journaling card was also from the main kit, so I added a few more stars. And then I did a flip up with a cute picture of my daughters with their Kia Royale, and then a picture of all three of them at the table. And then this card and this die cut were from the December Stories by the Month kit. I stamped and just added a few embellishments. And then again, this cute lift label was from Kelly Perky from Paper Person Shop. And then story 18 is about my wrapping. Finally started my wrapping. So this card is from my stash, as well as this journaling card, this puffy sticker. I added a scalloped die cut with one of the plastic presents from the main kit and a picture of a pile of my presents, and then a flat lay of my new wrapping paper with some of the presents from the main kit, and this Merry and Bright was from the advent calendar. And then I added a little tag in. This was a card from Sahin Designs, and I thought it was really fun because we had a holiday party and our friend dressed up as Bad Santa, which I thought was really funny. So I just added Bad Santa here and then a little photo on the back. And then for day 19, I love that picture of my daughter. This is my daughter's last day of work before her 4-month leave of absence. So she was very excited. This was from a past collection. So I just added that on there with one of the plastic labels and plastic stars and the date. And then just did a little currently journaling because we also had a Hanukkah dinner at our friend Alona's house. And that's a picture of all of us and our journaling. And these cute wine stickers were also from Paper Person Shop. So I think this turned out really fun. I can't remember if this might have been in my stash. And this card was from the December Stories by the Month kit. And then day 20 was about my family went to the Commanders football game. I stayed home and finished wrapping. And then we had our next door neighbor's holiday party that night. They do a holiday party every year. So I had our neighbor friends over for a pregame before the party. And then my husband and our friend Sterling met us later. So I believe this card was from the December Stories by the Month kit, and this tag and this vellum. And then this frame was from the main kit, and this die cut. This was from my stash, and I just stamped and used more of the bows. This was from the fan story kit, which was kind of fun to add here. And then I used black letter stickers from, I think, the advent calendar to say hail, because that's the Commanders kind of logo or kind of cheer, hail. And then this nice-ish was from my stash. So that's a fun one. Day 21 was our cookie day. We decorate gingerbread cookies, well, with my parents, my mom for many years, and this was the first year that my mom wasn't with us, which was, I don't know, actually saying that it gets me a little bit. But my dad was able to come over, which was pretty amazing because he hasn't been in my house in a lot over that past year because of his mobility issues. So this was from my stash, this was from the main kit and my journaling, and then a bunch of photos of all of us. I put 3 of the plastic frames together. I think I taped them on the back, and then I added pictures of all of us with our cookies, transparency and pattern paper, and then die cuts and stars and bows. So this one was also a labor of love and turned out really cute. And then in the middle, we had a second story of the day. My dad has some wonderful caregivers who take care of my mom now, and we had a luncheon for them, and it was also their Christmas party, and they all made Filipino food, which was delicious. So this frame was from a past kit, added a photo of my parents, and then on the back another photo, and used one of the labels to talk about the party. I love how this looks. And I added a tap sticker. And then I guess I just backed it up with a photo, which was nice because I didn't have any more of the frames. And I think I was kind of done with all the work of the frames. So then this is day 22, and this story is about our ornaments. And I had saved these plastic snow globes, 4 of them, to use for ornaments since there's 4 of us in my family. So I printed out pictures and adhered them, I think these were like 3-inch circles, to the snow globes, and then added with the sparkly glitter letter stickers our names and stars. And then here's a picture of our tree now with presents under it, and a cluster of stars. I think this big one was from the Star Mini Kit. And then on this little tag from my stash, I put ornaments, and then on the back, I added I had gotten a mahjong ornament. My daughter got one about Broadway. My other daughter had passed her CPA, so it's a CPA one. And then my husband says, "Merry Christmas to the one who puts up with all my meltdowns." So I thought that was cute. And then on the back of that, I did story 23 using the back of the snow globes. So I used plastic pieces from the main kit. And here's a cardstock border, a photo of my coffee and of my camellias budding. And then I just used a 4x8 transparency and 2 of the scallop die cuts to do my journaling about my coffee and about the camellias budding. So this was just kind of an easy, nice page about what's happening then. And then Christmas Eve, I used the back of the transparency and again 2 more of the scallop die cuts to journal about the movie we watch every year. We actually watch The Ultimate Christmas Present, which is a silly Disney movie, in the morning, and then we watch Elf in the evening, and then I always give the girls new pajama pants on Christmas Eve. So I added these cute phrase stickers, and then pictures of my daughters in their pajamas. Elf, this was from the main kit, journaling card from my stash, and then I thought this fun little 4x4 card was a perfect little filler in here with the Santa from the Advent calendar, a banner. Magic Moments was from Paper Person Shop, and then another picture of the movie we watched. So that's turned out cute. And then we go into Christmas Day. We're almost done. So this card was from the specialty journal card kit. I think these felt stars were from my stash, and then I used a bunch of the plastic presents in this multi-page Christmas Day layout and one of the die cuts. So the first part was Christmas morning with the 4 of us. So I have my coffee mug, pictures with my girls with their gifts. I added this fun little 4x8 transparency with a 25 from the main kit, and then a vellum wreath on a circle here. So I used the part 1 and part 2 4x4 cards, and I put them in a 4x6 pocket with the presents and stars. So this was the morning journaling. Part 2 was there was a home Commanders game on Christmas, which initially I was not happy about, but we ended up having a great time. We did a breakfast tailgate. We made eggs and bacon and pancakes. They had lots of fireworks. It was not too cold, so we had a really fun time. And I added the part 2 journaling and again the presents. This card was from the specialty kit, and then I used this fun page protector to add more photos and these plastic labels here. And then part 3 was my family got together at my parents' apartment in their retirement place, and we had dinner together and gifts. So this was the part 3. I didn't have a part 3, so I just stamped that and added it to a journaling card. This ho 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 was from the specialty kit, and then another felt star and die cut, more of the plastic tags and pictures of my family celebrating Christmas. Here's my mom with some cute flowers she got. This little shaker card someone made me years ago, and I finally used it, and this celebrate was from the advent calendar. So it's fun to have like the 3 parts of Christmas Day here. And then on the back of that, I just added a picture of my porch. And then I did a little bit of reflective journaling on this In This Season card, which was from the December Stories by the Month kit, about lots of fun holiday parties and celebration, lots of family time, busy. It felt hectic at times, but I tried to be present. So much special times with my little family, treasuring their memories, and then sadness and grief and missing mom. It's just part of the season of life right now. So I thought that was a nice way to end the album. I often end on the 25th now because, first of all, my album is getting so chunky, and second of all, I'm just kind of done. So, and then I added a page protector. I actually did this halfway through the year when I was cleaning up everything, and put in some special cards I had gotten from some of my crafty friends, and added a little label with that. And then you can see one of the cards on the back, and I just added a little red paper clip to keep it closed. And then on the inside back cover, I added part of one of the scallop die cuts with the star and said, that's a wrap on December Daily 25, January 6, 2026 is when I finished it. So there you go. There's a flip through of my album. It makes me super excited for this year. Oh my gosh, I love the colors in this year's collection. I mean, this was fun with the red and green, but the addition of pink and red and blue is really going to be fun this year. So I hope you've gotten some inspiration from these pages and enjoyed my flip through. And I look forward to sharing something more with you again soon. Thanks, friends.